Used to laugh, and when he laughed, he used to cry. I think mostly that. Interested in the same things, of course, but, I mean, what is it? It's impossible to tell.
Judi, you know what's truly remarkable? Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the world around you is fading into darkness. The colors you once loved, the faces of people you cherish, the scripts you read for decades, all slowly disappearing from view. For most of us, that would feel like the end of everything, especially if our entire life's work depended on being able to see. But for Dame Judi Dench, one of the greatest actresses to ever grace the stage and screen, losing her sight hasn't meant losing her spirit. At 90 years old, she's still working, still inspiring millions, and still proving that true passion can overcome almost any obstacle life throws your way. Today, we're going to talk about an incredible woman whose story will move you, inspire you, and maybe even change the way you think about challenges in your own life. This is the story of Judi Dench, a woman who has spent nearly 70 years making us laugh, cry, and feel every emotion in between, and who now faces one of her greatest challenges, yet with the same grace and determination that made her a legend in the first place. Let's start at the beginning. Because to truly understand how extraordinary Judi Dench's journey is, you need to know where it all started. Born in York, England, in December of 1934, Judi grew up in a family that loved theater. Her father ran a doctor's practice, but he also had a deep appreciation for the arts, and her mother was passionate about performing. From a very young age, Judi was surrounded by creativity and expression. She wasn't born into wealth or fame. She was just a regular girl with a dream that burned so bright inside her that nothing could put it out. When she was young, Judi actually thought about becoming a set designer. Can you imagine that? One of the greatest actresses of all time almost ended up working behind the scenes instead of in front of the camera. But thankfully, her brother talked her into auditioning for drama school, and that single decision changed everything. She trained at the Central School of Speech and Drama in London, and from the moment she stepped onto that stage for the first time, everyone knew they were watching something special. Judi made her professional debut in the late 1950s, and she quickly became known for her incredible range as an actress. She could play anything. Comedy, tragedy, romance, drama, you name it, and she could make you believe every single word. She spent years working with the Royal Shakespeare Company, performing in some of the most challenging and beautiful plays ever written. Shakespeare's words came alive when Judi spoke them. She played Lady Macbeth, Juliet, Cleopatra, all the great roles that actresses dream about, and she made each one unforgettable. But here's the thing about Judi Dench. Even as she was becoming famous in the theater world, even as critics were calling her one of the finest stage actresses of a generation, she remained humble and down to earth. She never let fame go to her head. She never forgot where she came from or why she fell in love with acting in the first place. For Judi, it was never about being a star. It was about the craft, about telling stories, about connecting with audiences and making them feel something real. Then came the movies, and that's when the whole world really started to pay attention. Judi appeared in countless films over the decades, but there are few roles that really stand out. In the 1990s, she started playing M in the James Bond films, and suddenly people who had never seen her on stage were falling in love with her commanding presence and sharp wit. She wasn't just good in those films. She was perfect. She brought authority and warmth to a character that could have been cold and one-dimensional, and she made him someone we actually cared about. But if there's one role that changed everything for Judi Dench, it was Queen Victoria in the film Mrs. Brown, followed later by Victoria and Abdul. Her portrayal of the aging queen was so moving, so honest and vulnerable, that it reminded everyone why she was considered one of the greatest actresses alive. And then came Shakespeare in Love, where she played Queen Elizabeth I. She was only on screen for about 8 minutes, but those 8 minutes were so powerful, so memorable, that she won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. 8 minutes of screen time, and she took home an Oscar. That's how talented Judi Dench is. Over the years, the awards kept coming. BAFTAs, Golden Globes, Emmy nominations, Tony Awards, you name it, Judi has probably won it or been nominated for it. But more important than all the trophies and all the recognition was the respect she earned from her peers and the love she received from audiences around the world. People didn't just admire Judi Dench because she was talented. They admired her because she was genuine, because she cared about her work, and because she never stopped challenging herself to be better. Now, Let's talk about what's been happening in recent years, because this is where Judi's story becomes even more inspiring. Around 2012, Judi started talking publicly about a condition called age-related macular degeneration. It's a disease that affects the central part of your vision, making it harder and harder to see details, to read, to recognize faces. For someone whose entire career has been built on reading scripts, memorizing lines, and connecting with other actors through eye contact and facial expressions, this diagnosis could have been devastating. And I'm sure there were moments when it felt that way for Judi too. Age-related macular degeneration is one of the leading causes of vision loss in older adults. It doesn't cause complete blindness, but it does make everyday tasks incredibly difficult. Reading becomes nearly impossible without special equipment. Driving becomes dangerous. Even simple things like seeing someone smile from across the room can become a challenge. For an actress, someone who depends on being able to read scripts and see her fellow performers, this disease presented obstacles that would have made most people consider retirement. But Judi Dench is not most people. When she first started experiencing vision problems, she could have walked away from acting. She had already had an incredible career spanning more than 50 years. She had won every award worth winning. She had nothing left to prove to anyone. But the thought of giving up the work she loved, the work that had defined her entire adult life, was something she just couldn't accept. So instead of retiring, instead of letting a condition defeat her, Judi decided to adapt. And this is where her story becomes truly extraordinary. Judi found ways to keep working even as her vision continued to deteriorate. She started having people read scripts to her out loud, so she could memorize her lines by listening instead of reading. She worked with assistants who would help her navigate sets and rehearsal spaces. She relied more heavily on her other senses, on her incredible memory, on her decades of experience and instinct as a performer. She figured out how to do what she loved in a completely different way, and she refused to let her disability define her or limit her. In interviews, Judi has been remarkably open about her struggles. She's talked about how frustrating it can be to not be able to see clearly, how she misses being able to read books on her own, how she worries about becoming a burden to others. But even as she acknowledges these challenges, she always does so with humor and grace. She doesn't ask for pity. She doesn't want people to feel sorry for her. She just wants to keep doing what she loves for as long as she possibly can. Think about that for a moment. At an age when most people are fully retired and taking it easy, Judi Dench is still showing up to work every single day, still memorizing pages and pages of dialogue, still giving performances that move audiences to tears. She's appeared in films like Red Joan, Cats, and Belfast in recent years, all while dealing with severely limited vision. Her performance in Belfast, in particular, reminded everyone why she's considered a national treasure. She played a grandmother with such warmth and wisdom that you could feel the love radiating off the screen. But it's not just about the work itself. It's about what Judi represents. In a world that often treats aging as something to be feared or hidden, Judi Dench stands as a powerful reminder that getting older doesn't mean becoming less valuable or less capable. Yes, our bodies change. Yes, we face challenges we never had to deal with when we were younger. But that doesn't mean our lives are over or that we don't have anything left to contribute. Judi shows us that passion and determination can carry us through almost anything, and that true artistry only deepens with age and experience. Her friends and colleagues have nothing but admiration for her courage and dedication. Other actors have talked about how inspiring it is to work with someone who faces such significant challenges but never complains, never asks for special treatment beyond what's absolutely necessary, and always brings her full commitment to every scene. Directors have spoken about how Judi's performances have actually become more powerful in recent years, as if losing her sight has somehow deepened her ability to convey emotion and truth. There's something profoundly moving about watching someone who has given so much to their craft continue to fight for it even when everything seems stacked against them. Judi could have stepped away quietly. She could have said that she'd had enough, that she deserved to rest, and no one would have blamed her. But that's not who she is. Acting isn't just a job. It's part of who she is at the deepest level. It's how she makes sense of the world, how she connects with others, how she expresses everything she feels and thinks and believes. Taking that away from her would be like asking her to stop breathing. And here's something else that makes Judi's story so special. By continuing to wake, by being open about her vision loss, she's helping to break down stigmas and change perceptions about disability and aging. She's showing young actors that a career in the arts doesn't have to end just because your body changes. She's showing older adults that they can continue pursuing their passions no matter what obstacles life throws at them. And she's showing all of us that limitations only have as much power as we give them. Judi has also talked about the importance of staying mentally active and engaged, regardless of physical challenges. She said that working keeps her mind sharp, keeps her feeling alive and connected to the world. She doesn't want to sit at home feeling sorry for herself. She wants to be out there, creating, collaborating, telling stories that matter. That attitude, that refusal to give up or give in, is what makes her not just a great actress, but a great human being. It's worth mentioning that Judi hasn't done this alone. She's had support from family, friends, and colleagues who have helped her navigate this new chapter of her life. Her daughter, who is also involved in the arts, has been a constant source of love and encouragement. The people she works with have found creative solutions to help her continue performing. And her fans around the world have sent her messages of support and admiration, letting her know how much her work continues to mean to them. But even with all that support, the courage to keep going has to come from within, and Judi Dench has that courage in abundance. She's faced down one of an actor's worst fears, the loss of sight, and she's found a way to not just survive but to thrive. She's proven that art isn't just about what you can see or read or physically do. It's about what you carry inside you, the depth of your talent, the strength of your spirit, and the power of your commitment. As we look at Judi's life and career, there are so many lessons we can take away. First, that it's never too late to keep pursuing your dreams. Second, that obstacles don't have to be the end of the road. They can be opportunities to find new paths forward. Third, that aging is not something to fear but something to embrace, because with age comes wisdom, experience, and a deeper understanding of what really matters in life. And finally, that true passion can carry us through almost anything, no matter how difficult or painful it might be. Judi Dench's story is a reminder that greatness isn't just about talent, though she certainly has that in abundance. It's about perseverance, about refusing to let circumstances define you, about finding joy and meaning in your work even when everything seems impossible. At 90 years old, with her vision severely limited, Judi Dench is still teaching us what it means to be an artist, what it means to be dedicated to your craft, and what it means to live a life of purpose and passion. So the next time you're facing a challenge that seems insurmountable, the next time you feel like giving up on something you love because it's become too difficult or too scary, I want you to think about Judi Dench. Think about a woman who has spent nearly 7 decades perfecting her craft, who has won every award imaginable, who could have retired in comfort and luxury years ago, but who chose instead to keep fighting, keep working, keep creating, even as the world around her faded into darkness. If she can do that, if she can find a way to keep going despite everything, then maybe we can too. Maybe we can all find that same strength within ourselves, that same refusal to let our circumstances dictate our future. Judi Dench is more than just an actress. She's a symbol of human resilience, of the power of art to sustain us, and of the incredible things we can accomplish when we refuse to give up on what we love. Her legacy will be remembered not just for the incredible performances she's given us over the years, but for the way she's faced adversity with grace, humor, and unwavering determination. She's shown us that disability doesn't mean inability, that age doesn't mean irrelevance, and that true passion can overcome almost any obstacle. As she continues working, continues inspiring, continues proving that nothing can keep a true artist down, we should all take a moment to appreciate what a gift she's been to the world of entertainment and to all of us who have been touched by her work. Dame Judi Dench is a living legend, and her story is one that will continue to inspire generations to come. If this story moved you, if Judi Dench's courage and determination inspired you the way it inspired me, then please hit that like button right now. Share this video with your friends and family, especially anyone who might be facing their own challenges and needs a reminder of what's possible when we refuse to give up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another inspiring story like this one. Together, we can spread the message that age is just a number, that obstacles are just opportunities in disguise, and that passion and determination can carry us through anything life throws our way. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.